The next allegation Mr. Myers asked Lucy Letby about was one of murder against another baby girl, baby I. Now, the prosecution says she attacked this baby 3 times before killing her on the fourth attempt on October the 23rd, 2015. Again, she was a very premature baby girl who'd been born at 27 weeks, weighing just 2 pounds and 2 ounces at the beginning of August.
But she did well, and by the time of the first alleged attack, she'd beaten the odds to make it to almost 2 months old. The prosecution say, in the days and weeks before her death, Lucy Letby sabotaged her care, either by overfeeding her milk or injecting air into her stomach or bloodstream. But Lucy Letby told the court that she got to know baby I and her family well and cared for her on a number of occasions over many months. She said she remembered baby I vomiting and desaturating twice towards the end of a day shift on September the 30th, but denied being responsible.
Mr. Myers asked about an alleged attack during a night shift of October the 13th. On this particular night, nurse Ashley Hudson was baby I's designated nurse, and she gave evidence that she asked Lucy Letby and another nurse, Caroline Oakley, to keep an eye on her when she nipped away to help another colleague.
She said the main light was off in nursery 2, and a cot canopy meant her face was in shadow.
But when she returned to nursery 2 around 15 minutes later, at about 3:20 in the morning, Lucy Letby came to the doorway and suggested to her that baby I looked pale. Now, in court, Nurse Hudson became tearful as she explained to the jury how she quickly went to baby I, pulled back the cot cover, and found her floppy and gasping for breath.
Asked about this by Mr. Myers, Lucy Letby challenged Nurse Hudson's version of events. She claimed the nursery was not too dark for her to be able to see baby I's colour, and insisted it was nowhere near as dark as the photograph of the nursery, which was reconstructed by police, and was shown to the jury earlier in the trial.
Now, Lucy Letby insisted that she had a better view than Nurse Hudson, who was standing with her back to the cot, doing something on the workbench.
I can't recall what lights were on where, but I know I could see clearly enough to say that baby I was pale in the cot. The room was lit from the corridor, and baby I was in front of the window. At no point was the nursery in complete darkness.
Where were you when something about baby I's colour struck you?
I was stood in the doorway of the nursery.
What was it you could see?
Her face and her hands. She just looked very pale, blue. We both went over and turned the lights up.
What did you do?
We pulled back her blankets and started to take her clothing off. She wasn't breathing properly. She was gasping. She looked very, very unwell. We started near-puffing and called for help.
Can you think of any reason why the apnea alarm had not gone off?
They are programmed to go off if a baby doesn't breathe for 20 seconds. Baby I was shallow breathing and gasping, so I believe she was breathing during that 20-second period.
Baby I had CPR, and after more than 22 minutes of resuscitation, her heart rate returned.
But Lucy Letby told Mr. Myers she had little recollection of what happened the following night when she's accused of trying to murder baby I again by injecting her with air.
She admitted she remembered baby I's tummy was swollen and had a patch of discoloration, but she said she couldn't recall specific details and denied doing anything to cause it.
Finally, Mr. Myers asked Lucy Letby about the night shift of October the 23rd into the 24th, when baby I was allegedly murdered.
And again on this shift, Nurse Hudson was her designated nurse. She said that just before midnight, baby I seemed very unsettled and was crying loudly. She collapsed and after several minutes of CPR stabilised. But an hour later, while Nurse Hudson had nipped away temporarily, baby I stopped breathing again.
Nurse Hudson told the jury that when she arrived back in the nursery, she found Lucy Letby standing by the incubator and the baby was crying the same relentless cry as before. But in her evidence, Lucy Letby said she couldn't remember if she was already in the nursery when baby I collapsed. So Mr. Myers asked her about the sympathy card that she'd sent to baby I's parents, a photo of which was later recovered from her mobile phone.
Lucy Letby said she'd sent the card to baby I's parents via a colleague who attended her funeral around a fortnight later. And Mr. Myers showed the jury another picture, also recovered by police from her phone, that she'd taken of a different card she'd sent to a close friend congratulating her on the birth of her baby. Lucy Letby insisted there was nothing unusual about it. Taking photographs of cards and letters is normal behaviour for me, she said.